everyone, I'm back with a studio scale B-wing model, resin model. Like I said before, I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing to put the model together to make sure everything is aligned. One option is a threaded rod right through the whole model, but I mentioned before that will be difficult because this hole for the pipe doesn't go all the way through, and that is an issue on this one. So I had to split it into two parts, and I'll show you what I did, and then you can either follow along what I've done or you can do your own thing. But what you will need is you will need probably two pieces or two 30cm pieces of 8mm rod or pipe. Okay, I'm using aluminium pipe that's used for scale aircraft, and then as well as a piece of 7mm pipe. I use this for the wings. I'll show you guys when I get to the wing section how this goes, how I actually modified it to work. Okay, so what I've done in the meantime, I've glued the two main sections together for the lower wing, easily as it just fits together, no pipe needed. Then I've actually glued a piece of aluminium 8mm into the bottom of the large hole of the lower gun pod. This was 3 centimeters long, so I've left some space at the bottom in case I want to mount the model on a stand from the bottom, so it's deep enough. It's about 1 centimeter deep on this one. What I'm going to do on this, I've decided so I can remove the weapon from the pod. As you can see, I've marked two circles on the inside. They're 8mm diameter, same as on the back of the guns, and I've cut two 8mm pieces of pipe. So I'm going to use a drill bit by hand. I'll try and either do it this way or use a actual drill machine, and then I'll drill into this one and then glue these parts in, and then it'll just recess into the holes on the inside of this one. So this weapon can then be removed as needed. Okay, so certain parts of it I've actually drilled all the way through to make the pipes fit all the way through it, because in order to make it work as in a mold, I couldn't have holes go all the way through because it'll trap it inside a mold. Okay, so on the bottom one, the lower section, the aluminium pipe is, this one is lower, 11.7 centimeters. Okay, so I've taken specific parts of it. I'll show you which ones I've drilled through. So the first one is this one. Okay, and important part on this one is don't have it this way when you're drilling through the hole, because I did that and the hole was actually offline. You need to have the large section flat and then drill the hole. It'll line up to the bottom. Okay, and then this part, which is the wing holder, it's very simple. Just get a drill press, get a 8mm metal drill bit, and just hold it very tight. Then on very slow speed, just lower it down till it goes through the piece on the inside. You might need to sit afterwards and open it slightly, and even use a Dremel, which I did, and I just worked the inside till the pipe went through. You see this goes through quite easy, but the pipe's quite tight. Okay, and then the next one I did was on the upper sections. This one I didn't do it this way. You need to do it this way, and then drill through, as well as this one, have it this way around. Okay, and drill through it. Okay, so the upper pipe is 13.9 centimeters. I do not know the inches, so don't ask me in the comments what's the inches, because everyone has an app on their phone. Matter of fact, if you go to your calculator and there's a little section you can click, it'll give you a bunch of things you can convert. So 13.9 centimeters, 139mm metric. Okay, and then what I did on the cockpit section, I glued this part on But what I first did was I see, this is quite tight. I actually shoved this piece into, when this was loose on its own, put glue on it, then shoved it into the okay, this is the other one you need to drill through while I'm on it. So I put it down on the flat end and drill the hole through. Okay, so what I did over here was I shoved this all the way in till it sat flush, and then I put glue, and then I shoved this part on and I left it there. Okay, so the pipe is loose. So if you want this to turn in conjunction with the rear end, then you need to glue either the pipe on this one or onto this one. I'm going to leave it loose. Okay, so it just all shoves together. Okay, so on the wings, what I did was I used a thinner pipe, but like I mentioned before, the 7mm, and the reason is the wings are very tight. These for them to line up between this and the rear, with this in between, and you've got all these little holes in between. It's a lot to go through nicely. Okay, so I've gone with a thinner pipe, a 7mm, and then I've taken these two caps to go on the rear end. I've chopped off a 7mm piece of 8mm, and I've glued it in so that the 7mm can actually fit onto it. So this will go on the rear end and hold the gun in. So the idea over here is, let me show you guys. Once everything's together, and this doesn't have to be glued in either. It can be loose. Okay. So when this comes together like such, okay, you need to line everything up. Okay, then shove your pipe through. It will actually stick out the rear end about 5mm. So I'm off camera now, but let me just adjust the camera slightly. You can see what I'm doing. Star Wars B-ring. Okay, so this goes through and it goes all the way to the end, right into the front one. Okay, then this cap, the cap piece, will now fit tightly over the rear. So you do not have to glue it on, and it'll hold, as you can see. So now your wing can fold and fold back. Okay, on both sides. Okay. So when you get to the top section, okay, let me put this lower together for you so you can see how it works. I'll just move all this out of the way. Okay, so the lower idea, what I'm going to do is, because you've got this main body, and as you see on the inside, there's space for, move the camera down, there's a space for a screw to go in. So you need to get maybe a 2cm screw. So when your section goes in, it will actually drill into the rear end. There's a little tab, a little hole. So once this is in, hold it, drill the hole, tap the hole, tap this side, and it'll hold this piece on, and do that for both sides. So what will happen here now is on the lower end, which is a shorter one, okay, what you're going to do is, let me just show you guys this this gun pod. What it does is just slides in and holds on. Okay, you can glue it on if you want to, it's up to you. I'm leaving mine loose. Okay, so on this lower section, okay, I'm going to glue, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these two parts on. There's a little printed piece, goes in the front, looks like little vents, and then I'm going to close this big hole with this part. Okay, once that's done, you got your, where's all my parts? Let me get this out. I need this one. Okay, pliers. Okay, so you put this piece in. Okay, for this you don't actually need to. Okay, so you see there's a little hole I mentioned before for a screw as well, and this actually goes onto this one way. You can screw it on without gluing it. Okay, then your pipe goes all the way through both of them, and then it goes into your upper end of your upper wing. It sits quite flush. What I want to do is I actually need meat on top. So the best thing here would probably be to shove it into the wing first. Okay, you can bring this one and this one this way. Okay, what I'm going to do over here is I'm actually going to get this piece. I can maybe make this piece a little bit longer. It doesn't have to be this like such. I actually bent aluminium now. Okay, and then this will go into the lower section of this, and it tends to hold quite well. Maybe do it the right way around. It does hold just for alignment, so that's why I recommend the screw, and that'll conclude the lower section. Okay, all the other stuff is like cosmetic things you add on afterwards. It'll add weight to the part. Upper section. Okay, so this one goes into the section there. Go through your, goes in there. Like I said, it's screwed in. Okay, in this part here. Okay, you don't need to glue this together. You can glue it together if you want. Maybe just have this section glued together and this separate. That's all up to you. And then your engine bit. What I would, sorry, not engine bit, cockpit bit. What I would do over here, I'm going to do is because you've got this here that can take a screw. It's got a recess on the inside. You can actually put this together and then tap it and screw it in, and then this just shoves on top of this one, and it goes right into the upper section. Okay, that's your upper section complete. So once those two screws are in, I reckon, well, I'll test it out. I haven't done it. And then you're going to have your whole model, which is now big for the camera, but and your wings will be on the mounts. And then once you're done, you can glue your fuel tanks or whatever they're called. I don't know, I think they're fuel tanks. Glue them on. Okay, so I'm going to now tap these holes on the inside on the rear end, and then just give it a spray paint and then see how it looks. But what I'm going to do is as well is these guns. I think I mentioned it. I'm going to drill the holes for the guns mounts on the inside, so I'll do that as well. Okay, with these two pipe pieces that I cut. I'll see if I can do it by hand, but I think I might end up using this device to drill it on slow speed. Okay, so when I come back, hopefully everything's together, and then I can start the paint job. Okay, thanks. Cheers.